What was the source of inspiration for you in this film?
Oh, it's a very long process. It's more than decades, and so that's the. But my less inspire is one day me and my wife we are cooking in the kitchen. I told when the one system press a lot to the people, it can be state, it can be family, blah blah, and people started lying, and under the pressures, how there was a question how under the press presses lying became a resistance. So that's my actually inspiration. Of course, I was also one of these children. A long time ago, I was also one of the boarding school. I study 6 years in the boarding school, but my inspiration comes from the how actually lying became the resistance. That way, that is my inspiration.
So you were children who was in one of these school, or you were one of the teacher in this boarding school, in these schools?
I was one of these children of the school. I study 6 years,
Mhm.
and I go to elementary school over there.
Okay, so part of this story is based on your personal observation of what happened to you as a child, yes?
The story structure. When I think story structure itself, it's a fiction actually, but I studied 6 years, and what I see in the 6 years, I bring it together with the details, and so also details have helped me to put them together and put this issue together. But yes, maybe half of them from my expression, but the other one also what I see in the school and what I feel in the school
Mm.
and what I feel nowadays actually.
Mm.
So it's a mix actually.
Can you say more about the process of developing your screenplay? How did you develop the screenplay?
Yeah, actually, I told you it was more than decades because when I wrote the first draft of the script, it was 2009,
Okay.
and at those time the government and I get the government money for the writing script, but I couldn't get the government fund for the production. So, and I go to shot another movie, and then I come back this movie again in 2000, I think 14. But I also the script was not good because I was hate towarding boarding school teacher system, and I couldn't put the distance between me and that issue and boarding school. And when I sit on the script, I crying, I was angry, I was laughing. So, and in 2014 we worked with my wife Gülistan. She's also my co-write, and we wrote one draft. And then I was studying in 2000, in the 90s, beginning of the 90s of the boarding school till the end of the 90s. At those time between the Kurdish and Turkish people was a conflict, and also there was really violence happened there in the Anatolian ground. So that after 2015, uh, you know, in the Turkey there was a coup attempt, uh, and then political climates immediately changed, and the bomb were everywhere. Also for the Kurdish people, ISIS came out and you know and killed a lot of people, and we are so stressed about that and so sad about that. And uh, me and Gülistan, we just spoke in the kitchen, as I told you, and then we just wrote the last version in 2016 in 7 days. And so after these 7 days, we never touched the story, never touched the script, and we couldn't touch that. We tried, but we couldn't change any dialogues and any point, and it's not, it was okay. And so that is the and after 2016, I shot the same script actually.
Were there any specific movies that you had in mind while making this film? Have you consulted or looked at specific movies?
When I wrote the script, usually I never watch the movies.
Hmm.
Because we are human being, and I know even it will be bad, I try to make the original one, not the similar. But at those time, I was very affected by the Romanian writers, not the filmmakers. For example, Galuneum, for example, Herta Müller. That we, I think more than 10 times I just read Herta Müller's book. And just not for the script, actually. In those days, I just couldn't keep myself out to her book, and I just read again. Very obsessive. It was very obsessive for me, and in nowadays I miss that feeling. But uh, because of the her atmosphere is very similar in the Turkish atmosphere, as a very precious, and everybody see their angle, everybody try to get to save their ass, and uh, financial corruption and assimilation, everything is, everything in the atmosphere was the same. So my inspiration actually literature, not the cinema.
Your actors are pretty strong in their performances, and it is not always easy to work, especially with children or kids. How do you pick the actors for the film, and how you made them ready for the role?
you know Also, there is a story behind that, because in my first movie there was a two or three children, and they awarded in some local festival in Turkey, and they the people like it, and but my producer and my co-writer and my all the team, they believe Ferit can play with the children. Yes, when they are one or two, but in here they are 500, and it was really biggest challenge of them in my life. When I finished the set, when I come to the home, and 1 week I didn't realize I am in the home, and it was really really hard for me. Not just for me, I think it will be for everybody, because they are so clever, they are so noisy, they are so, all the time they are trying to play with you, and get out your control. And but you know uh, my chance was I was one of them, and I didn't eat anything from them, so that was the my chance actually. How I picked them, I the one summer, in the beginning of the summer till the end of the summer, I took one biggest jeep, and then I go to a lot of the boarding school. When I go to the boarding schools, also I making my casting. So I think I go like a 11 city, more than 100 boarding school, and more than maybe 10,000 boys, and I pick up the Yusuf from another city. I shoot movie in another city. So that was my selecting process.
And was it easy, for example, to convince them to play in this role, in this film, because this film is also about the Kurdish people, which are not under political
You know
pressure.
the Yeah, you know the people of this area, which I was casting the Kurdish guys, and so that wasn't the problem for in this point. But the problem comes from the another place, which is it was about the location. And you know, for example, in one city, the head of this education government, city government, and they didn't give me permission because they said you will definitely go to the say bad things about the boarding school. I said yes because it's bad things actually, but he didn't give me the permission, and I go to another city and I found a way to the shutting the movie.
Okay. And the owner, or it was owned by government, the location, yes? It was a governmental building.
Yes, yes,
You should.
yes,
So you didn't
yeah.
need, for example, any permission from the government. You just need permission from the head of the school.
No, you have to get the permission from the government, and then go to the permission for the education minister, and then go to the school get the permission. You have to pass three steps.
And
But my chance was, yeah, my chance was, I, you know, the my mom is supporting by the Euromatch and the Romanian CNC. So after Romanian CNC, they got, you know, the Turkish fund decided to support me little with a little money, but support me. I accepted immediately because it has, you know, it helps me to get the permission because I couldn't get the permission. There wasn't any way to get the permission if I couldn't get a fund from there. And so it was easy to get the permission from the government, but it wasn't easy to get the permission from the city education guys because they are very nationalist guys that, and you know, in the Turkish city usually you know, in Kurdish city usually Turkish guy lead these head of the things, so he didn't give me permission,
so,
and I find a way and go.
sorry for my ignorance. Maybe this is because of my ignorance, but I think I heard that there is a conflict between central government and Kurdish people. So if there is a conflict, and if your film also somehow criticized how the government was convinced that they should give permission or not cause any problem for shooting the film.
You know, the supporting, you know, support of the films in the Turkey, and we can say independently,
Okay, okay.
and it can be, and then when you get the support from the government, you can give them the paper. You know, they are working for the government and they need just paper, and so they didn't know you actually, they didn't know you as a director is a one guy come and shutting something like that, like a TV series. And you know, for example, when we go to take the permission from the one guy, and he says, uh, "How we can watch in tonight?" I said, "No, not tonight. Maybe 2 years later, because they are things like it's a TV program, something like that, and they don't know about that."
Mm.
So it has me to get the permission.
Okay. You have decided to use a primarily handheld or a steady camera for the film. Can you say more about your aesthetic choice?
You know, the first thing actually comes from the in the script. I put my anger, my hate to the side of the table, and I wrote the script. But in the style of the shooting movie, I need to keep these, uh, you know, keep this style, aesthetic style to the shooting movie with the anger, with the hate, and all the time they are very interactive. Also, 4x3, they are stuck in the school. Not just the 4x3 is the claustrophobic atmosphere of the movie. Also, it is, but also and feel like showing the education system mentality and very narrow. And so I have to be follow my character and discover all the process, all the school, all the things with my character. I have to be really angered, maybe rage, and then um, using 4 by 3 to the more closer and more narrow to the issue, and then my character. So, but I designed all the plans, all the scenes on the table, not in the ground. When we go there, actually, director of the photography know what he do, and we work before that. Actually, I work before that, and I give them the shooting board and storyboard, and he know exactly which moment has to turn off his camera, to turn back or tilt down his camera. So I am very obsessed my script, and I shooting my scripts, and as I finished, and not changing a lot in the shooting. I will not change the script in the shooting, and so it has me to create the atmosphere on the table.
And what about acting? Was it also any kind of improvisation you allowed, or it was all uh, predicted or
No,
staged before?
no, no. Um, all this preparation, I made all this preparation because of I want to create time for the playing with the actors. When you playing with the children, also it's adults too, but mostly children. If you make the improvisation or rehearsals allowed, it can be very mechanic in the play. I didn't want that, and so in the shooting, they some scene they didn't really he didn't read the scene, my main actors, and in that I just tell him, you have to say that one, and that one, but you have to play like that one, and you have to be serious, you have to be like that. uh all the acting I handle during the shooting, actually.
And how was the reaction of Turkish government in the face of success of the film at Berlin? How was the press reaction, government reaction? I'm just wondering.
We are very happy about that,
Mhm.
because as you see, as we saw the movie, I'm saying basically the pressure system, and also I say, is a minority of the Turkish society, and everybody aware about that, but I am telling with a very aesthetic way, so
Mm.
they accept that. Also, Berlin Film Festival is a very big festival, and they respect that. And but the Turkish people, Kurdish people, even he will be very nationalist. They love it because they go to the school and they saw this education, and they connect with these boys. In many ways, not just one ways.
Mm.
So the reaction is really good, and we are very happy about that.
Mhm. And considering all of this, how long was the shooting period? Was it before Corona or after?
20 it was the 2019,
Okay.
beginning of the 2019. uh, I am doing the editing. My editing process is very long. i
Okay.
I doing the editing with somebody, but mostly I doing, and so it's so long.
And how long was the shooting?
It was 26 days.
26 days. Okay. And
Yeah.
considering COVID, how the experience of Berlinale this year is different from your past festivals experience?
Till now we don't have any experience with the COVID festivals, like online festivals. It will be first time with the COVID, and tomorrow morning we are going to the Berlin. So I'm now in Istanbul, and we are making a lot of paper for going to just reach our screening place. So, but the online experience wasn't good experience. I think it is completely different with the cinema. So it's not. I think it's, it will be because the people want to go together and see something together, make together something. The cinema is serving that. But I will see after Berlin, I can answer you better with the COVID or without the COVID. But I can now, just to compare with the online, and because I didn't go any festivals. Yes, we have been in the Fars, Moscow, Hong Kong, Jeonju, a lot of festivals, but I didn't go there, and just it was online or I didn't go there.
Mm,
So I don't know.
mm. And what was the impact of coronavirus on your plan for distribution? Did it cause any issue or problem for your distribution?
Till now, no, actually. But after that, if we are not putting our movie cinema in the spring, it will be problem for me. And but till now, yes, some festival they cancel it, and some festival take the very less movie, and we can stay in the out, but very less. But till now it's okay for me, and for many of my friends or people, it's a really bad experience. I think I saw and I heard about that. But for me till now, I didn't affect it. Maybe in the beginning of the corona, it was good because I was in the post production.
Yeah,
So it was a very big time for the making the post production.
yeah.
I need that actually. Yeah.